This is the Hidden Killers podcast with Tony Bruschi.
Joining us right now, Joni Johnston, clinical and forensic psychologist, licensed private investigator, one of our favorite guests to have on when it comes to talking about the psychology of horrible human beings. And that's why you're here, Joni. Joni, I want to jump into talking about Negasi Zuberi, the man who had the cinder block cell in his garage that a woman escaped from. Let me ask you this. What are the odds that was the first woman who's seen the inside of that cell?
Well, I'm not a betting woman, Tony, but I would say the odds are zero.
Okay. That's sure of it. Wow. Yeah.
I would put money on that. I mean, some of the things that I've read about, and again, I am reading as an outsider, just like anybody else, but some of the things that in the press announcement, things like lists that they found, including comments like, make sure that people don't have other people in their lives so they won't be missed. Drawings of a potential construction project of an underground basement or underground kind of like, it looks like a captivity room.
Yeah.
I mean, I am so thankful to this young woman who managed to get away, because I really do think, number one, there are going to be multiple victims. I would not be surprised if there weren't multiple or some murders preceding this. And I would bet money that she would have been one among many more to come if this person had not been stopped.
Yeah, I would imagine. So it does make you wonder, though, are we going to find murders in his past that we are unaware of? So far, nothing of that nature, but a lot of violent behavior, sexually violent behavior as well. And the fact that he was still out really, to me, feels like some sort of a failure of the system that he was able to continue going down this road. Let's talk about the psychology of him. It seems a bit grandiose in many ways. He went on Judge Judy. This is something you have to choose to do. No one's being assigned Judge Judy as the person to take on your case. And to go publicly and kind of share some of the madness of his own world to the world, plus the different identities, plus pretending to be a police officer, plus building a cell in your garage. Rather extreme things. Some things that you don't see on the average person who's kidnapping people every other day. What does that say about his intent or his belief in what he's doing?
Well, what struck me when I was learning about this case and reading about it is, and it kind of contrasts what we were just talking about, Tony, in terms of saying, how could this person, Rex Heuermann, be this kind of successful architect and his family have no idea? And then we look at this person, you kind of go, I mean, I don't imagine anybody's surprised by this, because this is a person that so far I haven't heard anybody say anything good about. I mean, his neighbors talk about him terrorizing them. His ex-spouse talks about all the physical abuse and that he threatened to kill her on many occasions. I mean, this is a person who, it sounds like, just across the board was completely narcissistic in many ways and was completely, I guess, out of control in a way, and really got a lot of pleasure, I think, out of kind of tormenting people and scaring them.
Very much so.
And so I was just going to add that I think I can see him using, and also just this duping people. I mean, I can see this person getting a lot of pleasure out of going on Judge Judy using an alias.
Yeah.
Right. Or impersonating a police officer. So it's really interesting. I mean, this person, again, is somebody who just across the board seems to be somebody who kind of gets delight in doing these devious criminal kind of things.
And continue to get away with it. And I would think there would be some fear, quite honestly, going forward for anyone to speak up against him if the charges are not more severe than what they are right now, because this isn't like a life sentence or anything that he may be facing. There's no murder involved with this. Will there be several years? Yeah, likely. But again, we see how quickly people can get out for very horrible crimes early for good behavior and such. Is that going to affect other people raising their hand and saying, hey, he did this too, as they're asking for more people to come forward?
Well, I'm actually hoping that it does in a different way. So my suspicion is that there are multiple victims who will realize that if this person is going to get out at some point under the charges he's currently facing, then they can help with that.
Yeah.
So by coming forward, it could be, okay, once your sentence is finished in Oregon, you're now going to start serving a sentence in this state and in this state. So, yeah, I can see what you're saying, and that somebody might be intimidated to come forward thinking this person's going to get out. Now, I think kidnapping is a pretty serious crime in transporting somebody across state lines. So I think he is potentially facing a lengthy sentence already. But again, I'm hoping, and the FBI, I think, will do a very good job of that, at communicating how important other victims come forward to assist in making sure that he does not have the opportunity to get out and reoffend.
I think that's the biggest thing, some sort of reassurance for potential victims that they are going to be protected, because I could imagine that may be why no one else has turned him in yet for different offenses, because of the threat that he poses to people and the possibilities of what he has the ability to do.
I thought I had heard, Tony, that just very recently, maybe it was even today, that a couple of other victims had come forward.
Good.
So I can't swear to that, but again, I can't imagine. And yeah, I'm hoping, like you, I think that is very important. I think that reassurance will go a long way toward encouraging other people to come forward. And like I said, kudos to this young woman who managed to escape, because she has really not only saved herself and is going to help put somebody who I think really has a criminal mindset behind bars, but I think that she has saved a lot of people.
This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast
with Tony Bruschi.